Hey guys, Caleb here. I've been climbing for quite a while now and I've learned quite a bit, so I thought, hey, let's jump in a video and talk about some of the things I've learned. I don't want to waste your time with long intros, so let's dive into number one. Okay, so the first thing I've learned that's super simple but kind of a mind thing that you don't always necessarily think about is to only hold on to a hold as hard as you need to. A lot of times when you first start climbing, your goal is just to stay on the wall, so you just grab and hold on and go, and what that does is it kind of just makes things way less efficient and you get super tired way faster. And so a good thing to do when you're starting to climb is to grab a hold, especially like as you're warming up. Grab a hold and then loosen slowly until you're only holding on exactly as hard as you need to. It's going to feel kind of awkward. It might feel a little sketchy at first, but eventually what's going to happen is you're going to kind of get used to that, and then all of a sudden you're climbing way more efficiently and you can climb a lot longer and a lot harder without getting tired and super pumped in the forearms. Number two, this is less of a tip and more of a mindset thing, is that you're rarely not strong enough to do a problem. So a lot of times when I started climbing, I would try to do a problem and I fell and I fell and I fell, and then I told myself, well, I'm just not strong enough to do that one. But what I've learned now that I've climbed for a while is that that's almost, until you get into the higher grades, that's almost never the case. Honestly, you should be able to jump in there and climb a lot of problems right from the start. The factor is technique and positioning and some of these other things that cause you to fall. It's rarely just, I can't hold on. If it feels like it's too hard to hold on, that's probably because you're positioned wrong. So until you get to the grades where you really need to have a lot of that strength to be able to muscle your way up stuff, even after having good body positioning, you can rest assured knowing that you're already most likely strong enough to do most of the problems you're trying to do. Now, with that information, the factor then becomes, what's causing me to fall? Which leads me to my next point, and that is, ask yourself always why you fell after you fall. I didn't do this for the longest time. I would just fall and man, I fell. Okay, let's try it again. And I jump back on the wall and I'm climbing and I fall again. Like, man, okay, maybe next time will be better. But if you want to really improve, you need to, once you fall, sit there and think, okay, what caused me to fall? And a lot of times that ends up making you aware of things and weaknesses that you have that you can fix. Again, not a strength thing, just something that you're messing up. So for me, I'm horrible at keeping my feet on the wall. That's one of my weaknesses that I'm trying to work on. So if I'm doing a problem and I fall and I think about, okay, what caused me to fall? It's never that I'm not strong enough. Sometimes it's, okay, when my left foot went onto that hold and I tried to move to the next one, that foot slipped and it caused me to fall. So now, when I go to try that problem again, I immediately have a concrete, tangible thing to try differently. Like, okay, as I go to that next hold, I'm going to put all of my focus onto my left foot. In my mind, I'm going to be thinking about that left foot. And then all of a sudden, boom, since you're mindful of that left foot, you're able to do that problem, able to move on, get to the next hard part. So it's not that you're not strong enough, it's that you're not getting your positioning right, and after you fall, you're not thinking about the things that you can do to be better for the next time. Okay, number four, for this video I really tried to not mention some of the things that a lot of the other YouTube videos mention. If you're like me, you've already watched 100 tips and tricks videos trying to get better at climbing, so I tried to come up with some different things. But there is one that's just incredibly important, so I put it in this video too, just to re-emphasize. And that tip is to keep your body close to the wall. And that's going to activate your core, that's going to keep your legs involved, and that's going to allow you to do a lot harder moves without using nearly as much force. It's getting your whole body involved. If your whole body isn't working while you're climbing, there's a good chance that you're making a mistake in your body positioning. Early in your climbing, which I'm still early in my climbing career trying to learn these things, if you can get this stuff down, you're gonna get way better really fast. If you don't get this stuff down, then down the road, when you hit a wall of not being able to get to the next grade, you're gonna have to come all the way, retrace your steps all the way back and get this specific thing down of holding yourself close to the wall, keeping your core and your legs super activated, and putting as little strain on your arms as possible. If you get that down, you're gonna soar. Okay, the next tip, this is pretty redundant, so I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it. Just think about what you're doing. I can't tell you how many times, and I still do it because it's so fun, how many times you see a problem and you're like, man, I wanna try that. And you just run up to it, chalk up really fast, jump on, start climbing, and then it just shoots you down and you're like, just completely rejected. And why that happens is because you didn't take literally 10 or 15 seconds and just look at the problem and make a strategy, decide what you're gonna do. So you're throwing yourself around, getting shot down over and over and over again. It's really important, and I know this is redundant, but I skip it all the time, so it's worth mentioning, to just look at the stinking problem and say, okay, I'll try this, I think this will help me. If I go this direction, my body positioning will be right for the next move. Just take a couple seconds at least and make a quick plan. Okay, the next tip, again, this is a mindset thing, and it's something that I've definitely struggled with that I'm sure a lot of you are starting to deal with a little bit, and that is don't label yourself. So for a long time, especially as a beginner, I was like, man, I'm a V1 climber, or I'm a V2 climber. So already in your head, psychologically, you've got yourself set up to be confident on those and have no idea how to do the next grade up. So get out of your head, stop saying I'm a this climber, V3, V4, whatever level you're at, just go climb. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a problem that was too hard, or I told myself it was too hard, and I just went to try it and totally botched it because I gave myself failure in my head before I ever even touched the holds. If you start saying, this is the grade I can climb, then you're setting yourself up for failure mentally when you try to climb anything more than that. Okay, and then this ties everything together. The last tip that I have for you if you want to get better at climbing fast is to subscribe to my channel. Just kidding. The last tip is actually well, you should subscribe to my channel, but the last tip is to have the mindset of someone who's doing a puzzle. If you've ever done a puzzle, put together a puzzle, no one gets mad if they pick up a piece and say, I think this goes here. They put it, try it out, and it doesn't go there. Unless you're an extremely overreactive person, no one's gonna be like, oh, I'm so bad at puzzles because I got that piece wrong that I just tried. No, what you're gonna do is you're gonna say, okay, that wasn't it. Let's try the next one. And that's part of the joy of doing puzzles, and the excitement of doing puzzles is trying to figure it out. You should have, in my opinion, the exact same mindset when you're climbing. If you go for a hold, or if you try something, put your feet in a certain direction, and you fall on your face, if you get mad at yourself, you're putting yourself in a totally negative headspace from the beginning, and you're not going to get any better. But if you fall and go, oh, that wasn't the right puzzle piece, let's try a new one, all of a sudden you're thinking strategically, you're learning, you're growing, and you're having a blast while you're doing it. Okay, so that's all for this video, guys. This is kind of my first tips and tricks video. If it was horrible, feel free to let me know in the comments. I'll never do another one. But I've learned a lot over the last 6, 8, 9 months, and I thought maybe if this can help one person, then that seems worth it to me. So if you did like it, please give the video a like. Go ahead and subscribe. I've been saying this the whole time, but if you're a climber, introduce yourself in the comments. Part of the reason why I'm doing these videos is to meet more climbers and dive a little bit deeper into the climbers community. So appreciate all of you guys who watch and all of you guys who've liked and subscribed, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.